calling out people's names, and you miss certain people, whatever.
I've
But
done
there's just
more.
been so much love and so much.
Because he knew you would be there for him.
I just say care that's been bestowed upon me over the decades coming here. And just for those of you that have just now first met me or heard my name but may not have met me, I've come around for a long time. Not just when there's an election like now. I've done station visits. I've been out there with Nancy. I've been out there with Mike, Richie. I've been in those stations, just to do station visits, over the years. And come down here on multiple Saturdays. When Loretta sends a letter over to the NBA office, I would like to do shop stewards training. Can you make it? You ain't said nothing but a word. What time? And we're there. And we've come and have always been here for you, just like you have been here for us in terms of our collective love for this union and for one another. And one of the side benefits that I've had in most recent years is that anybody that knows me knows that my vice in life is sweets. And I've come here, and I have to give a shout out to Lenan back there, who often, because my man Paul will pick me up at the airport without fail, and he's normally come bearing gifts with a little goodie bag of cookies, or we had the cake over here today, so thank you so very much for that. Now, I need for you to understand something here, is that I'm not running for national president because I have some grandiose idea or for prestige or because I have this desire for power. What I am running for president for is because I often said, when you see something that is wrong and you don't stand up for right, you're as wrong as the wrong itself. And the thing is here is that the way things have been going here over the last couple of years, I've had the ability to have a micro look at it. When you're out in the field, you have a macro. You're only able to see what people present to you when they come in front of you at the branches or events. And that necessarily doesn't tell the tale. And if there's anything that was an exhibit A for you to determine if Medicarians' interests have been looked out for, and particularly in regards to their standard of living, look no further than the most recent TA. That was overwhelmingly rejected by the Medicare craft by 71%. But yet, our leader decided somehow that it still was going to get implemented. Now you'll hear the story about an arbitrator rendered the award. The arbitrator states right there in the award itself that it was a mediation. It was basically seeming like a foregone conclusion that what we got is what we was going to get at any given time, simply because we didn't have the fortitude to stand up and say, hey, letter carriers deserve more than what they're getting. Now, when you're in church, people know me, I often refer to my faith. And what is so common about faith when you are saying a prayer, what do people say at the end of the prayer? Amen. They say amen, right? They say amen because amen means so be it. When the preacher says something that they agree with, what do they say? Amen. Amen. So if I say something that you agree with here, so be it. Amen. All right. Hey, let's test that theory out here. Letter carriers deserve to be the industry leaders when it comes to wages, benefits, and working conditions. Amen. Let me hear you say it. Amen. When it comes to letter carriers, we deserve higher pay. Amen. Do letter carriers deserve full colas? Amen. In addition to having full colas, does letter carriers deserve to have an affordable health care? Amen. Do letter carriers deserve to reach higher, the top step in a shorter period of time? Amen. In addition to that, does letter carriers deserve to be in a position that they are treated with dignity and respect. Now the reality of it is here, those things that are seemingly the most important to letter carriers at this particular point in time, because in the reality, approximately 5 to 10% of letter carriers file grievances. That is super important because that's what we do as a union, to get you from hire date to retire date. But what affects letter carriers on a daily basis is what? Your pay. Having a living wage. It is our responsibility, and particularly the president of the union, to ensure, to the extent that they can, that you have a standard of living that is commensurate with the devotion and with the level of efforts and work that you do. It was stated earlier about whatever happens, I'm talking about whatever calamities happen in this nation, what happens? Who's first on the scene? Letter carriers, right? So with that being said, we have to make sure that you are being compensated accordingly. And what will not happen, as me being a president of this great union, is that I will not do like some have done here most recent, travel the country, spend 700 days trying to explain to you why the Postal Service can't pay you what you deserve. Amen. That should not happen, should it? No. What you will not have is me telling you that this is all that I can do. This is the best that I can do. What will happen here is that when we go in there and we demand that letter carriers be the industry leader when it comes to wages, benefits, and working conditions, and the Postal Service somehow in their mind wants to or articulate that they're going to reject that thought, then we'll say what? We'll throw the deuces up at them. Peace out. We'll see you in arbitration. Deuces. Because guess what? Any and everything that you are deserving of, we're going to fight for it. One thing that you will never get out of the Henry Walton slate is excuses. I'm not saying that we can guarantee you that we'll get you everything that it is that you're asking for, but what I can guarantee you that it will not be due to lack of trying. That's what it will not be. It will not be due to lack of trying. The thing is here is that we have to understand what our responsibilities are. Have a sense of duty, meaning leadership. My first and foremost responsibility and obligation is to look out for your welfare. I've stated before, I retired from the Marine Corps. And it does not matter whether when you come into the military, whether or not that you end up having what's called an MOS, a military occupational skill, whether or not you are a cook, whether or not you are a medical doctor, whether or not you are a motor transport mechanic, whether or not you're a supply personnel. Everyone goes to boot camp. Why? That's considered basic training. You have to learn how to shoot that rifle. You have to learn how to march, because guess what? At your very core of a military personnel, you are a rifleman. Your first and foremost responsibility is to the defense of this country. What am I saying here? Our first and foremost responsibility to the letter carriers is to make sure that you're taken care of. It does not matter whether or not you're the president of Branch 2502. It does not matter whether or not you are a shop steward over in Branch 4. It matters not if you're the national VP like myself. It matters not if you are the national president. What matters at your core, you are a representative, and your responsibility is to look out for the best interests of the people that you are serving.
Amen.
That's right.
And that's what we need to keep in mind. Is that we're in a position of service. We're in a position to make sure that your interest is taken care of. That you're able to get from hire date to retirement date. That you're able to put food on your table, clothes on your backs, and a roof over your head. And that starts with making sure that you have a living wage. In no universe should we wake up and go out to In-N-Out and they're making $20+ an hour. No disrespect for my brothers and sisters that's in the food industry, but they're not letter carriers. They're not getting chased by dogs. They're not getting accosted for their keys. They're not getting talked to like they got a tail on the workroom floor. From the one-day CCA to the 40-plus year letter carrier, everyone should be taken care of. We should have a starting wage that will make sure and ensure that letter carriers, when they come in, are secure and willing and able to take care of their business on a daily basis. We should be making sure that you are able to have money in your pockets when you come in the door, all the way through the time that you decide to retire. Because guess what? I got monthly bills. I ain't got yearly bills.
Come on now. Amen.
When it comes down to it, we have failed in making sure that our letter carriers have gotten what they're supposed to get. We have lagged behind. When I first started with the Postal Service, there was only about an $8,000 difference between the bottom step and the top step. It was like step A to step O. Now, if you think I'm kidding, look at the pay chart. There's a $30,000 difference between those that start and the ones that are at the top now.
Right.
And the thing is that we talk about an injury to one is an injury to all. Our brothers and sisters that are at the bottom should get taken care of. They don't pay abbreviated dues. Those CCAs do the same job as career letter carriers. And those that have devoted their life to delivering mail in this job deserve to be taken care of as well. In addition to our retirees who should know once they retire that they have a secure salary coming in.
Amen. And it is so.
I often talk about our mentality and our responsibility, like I told you, as a representative, because that's what I consider myself and that's what I am. And everyone understand this, I am no better than any of you out there. I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like you do. I'm just blessed to be in a position of influence. But the reality of it is here is that we have to make sure that we look out for one another. We have to make sure that our craft is properly compensated. And we want to do that by way of ensuring that we get to arbitration when it's supposed to be. Now, hey, it's not as simple as some people may think with regards to putting up the fight that is necessary. Because we will cooperate, but we will never capitulate. We will never give in. We'll never bow or bend to management's will. We will make sure that letter carriers' voices are heard in every instance. Right now, what was it, last Wednesday, we had opening ceremonies for the collective bargaining agreement. And they've started the discussion. From all what I can tell right now, no one is doing the negotiating once again, far as the economics is concerned, except for the president.
Oh, no.
And the executive vice president is doing the work rules. The inclusiveness of the entire board or the officers there to make sure that we have an informed opinion, because they represent people from the entire country, the entire letter carrier craft. How can you be effective if you're not informed? This is one thing that you will make sure that we'll make sure that happens. We will make sure that you are updated. We'll make sure that you've got the information that you need, and we will be receptive to the information that is coming forward to us. Because it's not my will that needs to be done, but that of the letter carriers.
All right now.
And I'm going to tell you, brothers and sisters, is that the next 5 months between now and nominations is going to be a very trying time for the letter carrier craft and for our slave. Why is that? Because the letter carrier craft, so many of you guys are clamoring, and the letter carrier craft is anxious about change. And I believe, without equivocation, that the concerned letter carriers at CLC, that we represent that change. Because we are about the letter carrier craft. That is our chief concern. You're the one that get up, dress up, and show up every morning and deliver that mail. You're the ones that are the union, not me. And we got to make sure that the people that are representing your interests understand that. And that is my mindset. That is my heart condition. And all that is associated with me with this concern that it carries is ensuring that your interest is met. So when it comes down to it, like I said, we will cooperate, but we will not capitulate. If they're not giving us what we need and what we're demanding that we believe that we deserve, then guess what? Like I said, we'll throw the deuces up at them and say, we'll see you in arbitration. And we'll keep that process going. And there are some that say, well, what did arbitration do for us this past time? It's not necessarily the system, but the application of the system. You have to have people that are willing to put up the fight. And you see my right-hand man, Corey, ain't no short on any kind of fight. And those that are in are on our slate. Likewise, Howard, Kamitra, Cruz, and Bill Kriebel, and a whole host of them. Dave Grosspower, I have a whole slate. If you have not known, go on our concernlettercarriers.com website and you'll see and get acquainted with them. But I tell you, brothers and sisters, my heart is with you, and I'm going to ensure that we do everything that we can to ensure that you have a living wage, that you're not equivalent to a fast food worker making $20-some an hour, that you are not in a situation of having to work into your 70s or whatever time that you desire to work before because you can't afford to retire. And that you cannot get what we call the union wage, 8 hours of work, 8 hours of rest, and 8 hours of recreation. Because you have to work a whole bunch of inordinate amount of hours just to make ends meet. That should not be the case. Like I said, letter carriers are our chief concern. And if you get nothing else out of tonight, I want you to remember this phrase, is that we will not only fight for you, but we'll fight with you. Take care. God bless.